How was everybody this morning?
This is a lot more chill today than yesterday. We've got some people dealing with serious hangovers who are still here this morning, so hats off.
Some people are like,
What was your last night? And they were just like,
I'm paid for it now.
What's your last night and is not here today? A lot of empty chairs. It's missing people from last night. It's really bad. Did you guys have fun last night?
It was kind of overwhelming. It was amazing. The band, the lights, everyone looked incredible.
Yeah, I love getting propped up.
I had a ball.
You sure did.
Yeah, a ball. We had a ball.
Andy learned to tie a tie, a bow tie.
Yeah, I did.
That's what it
YouTube.
is.
You can learn anything on YouTube.
Tie all
I
of it.
bow tie.
Yeah, I did all of his bowling, which was a lovely callback for us as well, because Ollie didn't know how to do an Oxford knot for his necktie as Tristan. I'm like, come on, Tristan can't be wearing a schoolboy knot. So for our first day on set, also because we're all Australian, we all knew each other, or at least we were familiar, like we were like, yeah. And so it was, that lovely, like, I'm the girlfriend type. I'm just like fixing, like, oh no, let me just fix that for you. Like, but fixing his necktie before he went
It was
on.
my first day. I was super nervous, and I had this like 4-page monologue, and I remember bumping into Andy, and he was just swanning around like he owned the place, and he had a chin-up bar on his door already, and it didn't help. It just made me more nervous. But then he did my tie up, and I just felt all warm and fuzzy. We were looking into each other's eyes. It was like, you're good, buddy. You're good.
That's the behind the scenes that you guys need to know. These two actually fell desperately in love. While we were shooting the show, I felt quite left out,
It
really.
was quite the
Sorry. Apologies.
Beautiful bromance.
Apologies.
I just loved, both of your characters so much. You were bonkers, but in the most wonderfully grounded way as well. Yeah.
Both?
So Rebecca was insane, and that's why that's why they showed up.
And just like your quiet calm as Tristan was so unnerving and wonderful. And
I got a lot of hate tweets. I do remember that. Young girls hate tweeting me. Please die at Ollie Arkland.
I only got them.
Elijah fans that are upset that I was.
I only got them
Beautiful
once I
boy.
killed Cammy. That was a tough week on Twitter. Once I killed Cammy, I'm like, it was in the script.
Do you guys remember the craziest hate message you ever got?
That would have been one of them. Please die. When it's directed to you, not your character. I'd like to point out that it's a character. I'm being paid for this. Please direct it to Tristan.
Yeah.
I've forgotten his name.
Right, but then you guys say that, and then someone knocks on our door and is like, please die, you wrote this.
But like, it was in the script.
Amazing.
No, I don't specifically remember the worst tweet, but it was, along those sorts of lines, or just like, I fucking hate you, or you're like, yeah, all right, okay, fair, yeah. I'm like, and this was also early.
Mom?
But this was also early in the season when they hadn't even decided whether we were going to be like the biggest bad guy yet or anything, like because they were tossing up. The whole season they're tossing up until they put him in the shipping container. Brutal.
Still dying.
He's not. Yeah, still dying right now. Just drowning over and over. But they were always trying to work out which one of us was going to be the big bad. But it was even before we'd done anything terrible. And people were like, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, I haven't even done anything yet.
Wait till next episode.
Yeah, wait till episode 18.
And I pulled Nathan's heart out, and then things got even worse.
Try getting in the way of like a Claraline or a bloody Clammy. Is it Clammy?
Clammy hands?
Is it really Clammy?
Clammy hands today.
Don't get in the way of people's ships because they will destroy them. They do not like it very
You
much.
guys get brutal.
Yeah.
Not you guys.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
One of them
Just
definitely
tweeting
said
nasty.
Did anyone hate tweet us?
You're screwed. No, it's amazing because, so like I said, I worked on season 4 of Legacies, and I walked in, and I was a big Originals fan prior to ever working on Legacies. And I remember sort of sitting in bed the night before and kind of writing in my head like the dream things I wanted to do. I want, Hope to do this, and like just like if I could pitch it as the brand new writer in the room, like to the boss. And one of the things I really wanted was like bring back one of Klaus's old endings, and in my like heart of hearts, I was like, you want like Aurora or Tristan or like, you know, the
Yeah, well, which could easily scoop up my ashes and say some some like French gibberish, and I'd be back.
I was a massive fan of the Sire Trio, and then they had the Bone Blade, and so we ended up, you know, our boss Brett Matthews, the showrunner, looked at me on that first day, and he was like, well, I was thinking we'd bring Aurora back, and I was like, oh my god, like I'll die.
I dreamt it.
Right, and then somehow, like just by the way the episodes lined up, I ended up getting to write the one where she came back, and yeah, she tricked her body swap. Yeah, it was delightful. Which is all to say that on the first day that we were shooting, Rebecca had come up to me and said, like, you know, this is like, we were kind of getting to unbox Aurora's mental health stuff and some of her bipolar disorder, and like actually getting to really spend time with her trauma over the course of season 4 and kind of take it seriously and not just villainize her, which I think was really, really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because when you put mental health and trauma together and then you just like, yeah, kind of target it like a villain, and it's like, can we bring some empathy to this? And I know like she served her function in the story writing, and that's what she needed to do, but I think when you unpack what she'd been through and the ingredients that made her what she was, I actually think she was, at least she like was productive. You know, she could have just done nothing, but at least she went after doing something. You know, she could have
She just went after the wrong dudes. She would have been fine.
Of course she had a toxic relationship with men though. You know, her father blamed her for her mother's death in childbirth. Like, it's horrible, horrible stuff.
Did Hope say something to her where she was like, you're just tying yourself to another guy? Like, why do we...
Yeah, totally. Yeah, she had totally toxic relationships with men because of her relationship to her father, which was really, really sad and really messed up from the beginning. And that was always so real to me because I knew my backstory so well, but it was kind of glazed over in the originals pretty quickly, that it was easy just to look at Aurora with like, I hate you because you're doing bad stuff. But it's like, we're all just trying to do the best we can out of the circumstances that we're in and the brain chemistry that we're in, you know, and I am so grateful that for that time in Legacies, to be able to unpack that a little bit, to bring some empathy to it, and to like kind of open it up a little bit to discussion, because who can't relate to having been through stuff and, you know, the demons in our own head and you know, the pain in our past, and I thought it was really important that we got to do that.
Yeah, it felt really cool because we had, on Legacies, we had Lizzie, who outwardly said she had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it felt like we were trying to service this character while also brushing aside the fact that Aurora had kind of been disserviced for the same stuff. So it's like really cool to bring them back. I was going to ask you what that meant, but you handled it. So you're good, you're on it. So instead I will direct this question to the boys, who did not get that same sort of closure. And I would ask you if you could go back to your character and sort of take their core issue or core trauma or whatever, like what do you think they would need to have fixed? Like, not fixed, but get their, like Aurora needed to deal with her men problems and her codependency and the sort of
codependency with his sister, for starters. Yeah. With Tristan.
Didn't you guys film this scene where you guys actually made out?
Oh yeah. She always forgets this.
That seems like an issue we should have dealt with.
I'm glad it didn't make it to air, but like, you know, there was always a
some erotic dream she had. We actually shot it. We sat by a piano or something.
It was a dream?
Yeah, it was like the Christmas episode. And Aurora's playing piano and we sat there and we shot a version where at the end of it, we kissed. Like, and I just remember, because you do feel like my brother to me. Like, we bonded so much. I feel so, I mean, we're both from Sydney, like we have so much in common. We look alike, like, you know, it was so, it felt like crossing it felt so wrong. And like, sorry, no offense.
No. And it never goes down well at these things as well. You bring it up and people are like, but you're brother and sister.
Yeah, I know, but
and this was before Game of Thrones made it cool. Like, you can't do incest back then. Like, Game of Thrones came along and was doing it. Like, God, guys.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I'm really glad you have the pop culture history of incest memorized. Thank you so much.
I'm on the writing squad.
It's like beat red over there laughing.
Yeah, it was so, like, I remember even watching it going like, oh, this is so weird, but also they're so pretty. And like,
Game of Thrones.
yeah, I go, what? Like,
Yeah, so they obviously wanted to have like a jaw drop kind of end of episode, like what? To get everyone and the internet talking, but I think it was just a
They're like, no, this is
bridge too far. Not a bridge too far, but like, yeah, that was.
On the extras, the DVD
no.
extras.
But
Really expensive extras.
in terms of Lucian's core injury thing, like I think his biggest thing, like obviously he didn't have a lot of self-esteem, and like that he just carried that disrespect from Klaus, like that. He just the chip on his shoulder was like, I'm not a stable boy. Like I need people to recognize me, because it was all that like trying to create empire or all that stuff to have people see him. Yeah, like as more than the stable boy, have power, have respect, blah, blah, blah. But then like Klaus, like the whole time he's getting it from all these other sources, but he just needed his daddy.
Not to
Vampire
riff
daddy,
on your point, but it would have been really cool to, I feel like, see Lucian and Hope have a conversation about Klaus and about those daddy issues, because she spent so much of her life feeling abandoned by him.
Yeah.
And I feel like even Marcel did, like just to have like Klaus's actual like kids be like, yeah, so he's like a shitty dad sometimes. I want to watch them have like, it'd be so cool to have like Lucian and Hope have done like
Therapy session.
Yeah.
It's my new pitch, guys. That's the special.
It's like, oh my god, yes! Like
We should all just start a TikTok show.
You too.
Mary's
Can we
therapy.
get another bottle? Yeah. He was such a bastard.
Amazing. Dropping next week on YouTube. Vampire Diaries Therapy. Amazing. So we will take some fan questions if you guys want to line up. If you've not already, please feel free to come over here and talk to these guys. Just don't scare us or, do anything crazy. If you have to bring up the incest thing, direct it to Andy. He's really into it.
Yeah. I know the full history. So, yeah.
Get to the bottom though of like the codependency, like Tristan. Why did he have?
No, we did. Yeah, again, we could have really.
But what was that to you, like as an actor?
Yeah.
How did you justify?
I think he was a little in love with her. I think,
Was it because he lost his mum at such a young age? He
Yeah.
redirected his female,
Yeah.
like devotion or love or need. His
He
need.
was a bit motherly. He was a bit of everything mixed into one human. I think he'd sort of put everything into one human.
I seem to remember as well he had a fierce like devotion to her, also like a protectiveness, but he could never really protect her from herself, and he couldn't protect her from Klaus.
Yeah.
He couldn't protect her from the dad, so he was always kind of failing in the one thing he
Just
had
asked
to
you
do,
the whole
just
time,
look
like,
after his
Rebecca, tell me about my character.
What should I be doing?
Tell me more about my character.
Yeah, but I always felt really
The character
because I've got two big brothers.
Always failing.
Always
Always
failing. Yeah, I have two big brothers, and I know like their sense of wanting to protect me, like in real life, but were also like the ones terrorizing me at the same time. So like,
Protected from the outside world, not
yeah, but no. Actually, my middle brother still says no. It was my job to toughen you up. You were too soft. I'm like, that doesn't justify like beating me up and like teasing me, but to him it does. But, apparently.
Let's start.
I think you want to
Therapy, where's that bottle of wine? Yeah, but no, I could really relate to like that, the brother wanting to protect, but you can't protect someone from themselves if they're not wanting to look after themselves,
And constantly overstepping. He was constantly overstepping. Yeah.
Overstepping.
Especially at Christmas time. Christmas time. he
Especially
was
by the
amazing.
piano.
Amazing. Go ahead, guys.
I think I'm working now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we've got 4 or 5 questions for you guys. So,
Let's do it.
Hi,
Hey.
hi.
this is for Miss Breeze. Hi. I was wondering why Aurora was upset with Klaus when Elijah was the reason they broke up, because he compelled her to see the monster that Klaus was.
Yeah.
So why was she going after the whole family instead of just Elijah?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, it probably might have been that the writers kind of finally figured that out after they had a bit of fun. But I think as well, when you have an ex that you were so desperately in love with, and they moved on from you, and they're with other people, and they don't love you anymore, you're mad at them. You want them, like, because they saw you, feel seen, you feel found in that moment when someone truly sees you. And he saw her, and she was like kind of drowning a bit in her life. Especially, again, we talk about a father, like her father blamed her for her mother's death, and like basically couldn't even look at her, couldn't engage with his own daughter because he just saw the mother that he lost, you know, the wife that he lost, and he blamed her for it. So when a man sees you, I think it was so validating for her that when he then took that away, it was a loss that she couldn't handle, I don't think. And so she was mad at him for taking away what to her felt like some kind of healing. She maybe felt even more broken after he, and again, like, you know, they were split up, they didn't mean to. Actually, I can't remember how it happened. Why did they break up? Did he break up? It was because of their dad, right? It was because of the Michelson's dad, right?
Is it around Christmas time? Just saying.
Yeah, so I think she was obviously heartbroken, and it's hard not to be mad because you want them to love you. And also, he was complicit in you know, the Elijah putting the compulsion on her to break them up, right? Him trying to protect his brother. Yeah, Elijah compelled her, right? That was the... Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, Elijah compelled her to see the monster in class. Yeah, like what you said. So yeah, obviously I think in the end it makes more sense for her to be mad at Elijah. But I think when you're in love with someone and you want them to love you back, it's hard not to just have all your attention and all your devotion and all your focus and all your projection on that person, I think. Also, it made it more interesting storytelling. Thanks, guys, for backing me up there. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
fact-checking
feed
over
it with
here.
fact checks. That's right. Thank you.
How did we get into acting? In high school we had like theatre sports, which you guys call improv, and it's sort of just about getting up and making an ass of yourself, and that was sort of like a thing, and I got bullied into doing it by all the kids and against my free will, and that's how I got into acting.
What are your core wounds?
It's all the right reasons.
No.
I got into it for all the right reasons.
And then we had drama was like a subject, and it was just actually just the greatest teachers, you know, the greatest texts. That and art were my two favourite subjects. So it was sort of, it was a no-brainer. You sort of just go with what you feel like, you know, you're most passionate about, and it's usually the stuff that sort of makes you feel like it's the hardest for you to get right as well. It was for me. Like I was pretty ordinary at it to begin with. So yeah.
You said that and art. Do you do art?
Yeah, I'm a painter as well.
Painter?
Yeah.
Very cool. What kind of medium?
Oh, like acrylic, charcoal, canvas, abstracts, and sort of more figurative stuff as well.
That's awesome.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll try and keep this quick. I've thought about this a lot because the outside answer is I went to a drama school. I went to a drama class when I was like 10, and then I followed that teacher because I loved her, and she left where I was going like up the street. So we followed her to a different drama class, and turns out that drama class had an agent attached to it, which I didn't realise. She's like, hey, go into this room and talk to this lady and pretend to look at photos on a wall. I was like, okay, weird, but I will. Turns out that was my first audition. I didn't understand. So I kind of accidentally ended up realising that this is a job that you can do and it's an industry, and somehow I found myself in it. So it kind of felt meant to be. But the bigger answer to that, which I've been thinking about, is I used to stand in front of the mirror and like pretend I was other people and doing stuff. And I think when you're little, I didn't know how to process a lot of the feelings I was having because I was still a child. But if I could filter all my feelings and emotions through story, it helped me process them a little bit. So also music, I love to write music, I like poetry, and I realise now in retrospect, I think that was me figuring out how I felt about things, or finding a healthy outlet for all my big feelings that I was developing through life. So I think in a way it was therapy for me, and then it ended up, it was a healthy way for me to feel my feelings without it being so like literal of what I was actually going through. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it was a really healthy, beautiful thing for me just as a kid to do, and I'd encourage anyone who, you know, is interested in it just to do it for fun and to do it as a self-expression and let it just serve you for the sake of serving you, and if it turns into anything, well, great, but it's really a service to yourself, I
Did you
think.
book that first job? Looking at
No.
the photos and all?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's a much deeper answer than I was gonna like.
I think about these
Is
things.
that your short? Was that your
No, I
short
love it.
version?
I love it.
It's my short version.
But
Scary.
I love it. I love it. Again, there was a lot of big feelings as a child. I was a sensitive child, as my parents always put it. I was sensitive. I just had a lot of big emotions and stuff. But also, like, my parents, like, even when I was 3, my parents would be like, do your happy face, do your sad face, do your angry face. It's like a little, like, look what our kid can do at dinner parties.
Do your angry face for me? Yeah.
But, so it started off like that. And also, I just had a hell of a lot of energy and never seemed to, like attention sort of would like what do you eat? Attention. Like I didn't have enough, but still hungry. So it was just
Sadness.
to do something. But so my parents put me in like a theatre class like when I was like 5 or 6, I think it was. It was like right next to my primary school, and they're like, all right, cool, this is good. This will be an outlet for all that energy. And little did they know that then, like, I was in that same amateur theatre thing from 6 through to like 19, and then went to drama school and all that sort of stuff. Like they didn't let me pursue it at all professionally during school. They were like hoping that I'd sort of like it'd be like, oh, it's something fun he does, but then he'll do a real job. Yeah, so like the whole thing was like, no, finish school, get the grades, we know you can, and I did. I got like 99.25 as my enter score.
Oh, you're just showing off now. Wrap it up. Come on.
Yeah, but could have been a doctor, could have been a lawyer, huh?
Did you get enough?
Yes. So, so I'm like, all right, cool. I did the grades thing, and now I'm gonna go pretend for a living. I'm like, God, all right, yeah. Well, we said you could. So
Being a lawyer.
yeah. So then went to drama school, and then here we are.
Hi, I was just wondering, what part of your character do you think fans misunderstand the most?
Misunderstand the most.
I'm not gonna make it.
Well, like, I think Aurora's pretty obvious. I think everyone kind of enjoyed hating her because she was naughty. And she attacked people that we loved, you know? And so, like, obviously, you don't like that. But I think we've already talked about her being misunderstood. I mean, what that family put her through, what she was already dealing with before she even met any of them, makes it terribly misunderstood. And it makes you think, that person who was mean to me today, what are they going through that I don't know about? What has their life been? What would it be like if I walked in their shoes? So I think every time I take on a new character and I have to understand them, it actually teaches me as a person more empathy, because you can't judge your character, because otherwise you can't bring truth to them, because no one's, like, I think most people are just doing what they think is the right thing, or like acting out of what they feel is the thing to do at the time without, you know, so you can't, like, they're not judging themselves at the time, otherwise they probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it can be
So you can't judge
overactive
your
defense
character.
mechanisms, all sorts of things that they.
Yeah, or subconscious stuff coming out that they don't realise. So yeah, I think she was pretty misunderstood, and I think really she just wanted to love and be loved, like we all do.
And I feel like, if Klaus had just stopped treating Lucian like a stable boy, he would have been as loyal as a Labrador. Like, he would have been the best guard dog for the family. You know, like if he's all super powerful as a beast, and then if Klaus had been like, I love you like a son, he would have been like, oh, great, we didn't even mess up. Like, you know, like he wouldn't have been so focused on them. Like he just needed that love and respect from him, and that was it. Like just.
You wanted to be a good boy so bad, and give him that chance.
Yeah. Yes. That can't be good or bad.
It was the same for all of us in that way. I think Tristan was a sensitive little kid, just like Andy, and
He's practicing his happy face.
and he just went through some stuff along the way, you know, and all of a sudden he's in every scene he's kind of pretty passive aggressive and angry, you know. Christmas time was his happy time. Wonderful Christmas time.
Brilliant, thank you.
Hi, I have a question for Rebecca.
See.
So on Legacies, you temporarily switched bodies with Daniel Rose
Russell's character.
Yeah.
So what was it like to play like Hope Michelson in Aurora as well?
Oh, it was fun because Aurora's quite flamboyant, right? You know, she's hair, she's boots, she's darling. You know, she postures herself. And Danielle's so dry. She's so like no BS. She sits back in her boots. She's not posturing for anyone. She's just her. And it was so cool to be like, I'm not taking shit from anyone, you know. And it was a completely different end of the scale to Aurora. So it was fun actually. It was a really clever episode. Thank you. It was a very clever episode because there was such a dichotomy. There was such a contrast between them that the writing. Because if they weren't so different, you wouldn't be able to see much of a difference, and there would like the nuance would be so hard to capture with the time that we had to do it. So it felt great because it was the opposite of like I need to put on this defense thing that I'm doing. Like this is how I present myself in the world because it is. It's Aurora's suit of armor, the hair, the thing. You know, and Hope kind of didn't, she's kind of all powerful and kind of didn't need armor. She was just kind of like, I'll rip you up. Like, she just kind of was like, bring it, you know? So, it was a really cool day. But I mean, honestly, I kind of prefer Aurora because she's more fun.
I think I'm gonna ask Danielle that same question later.
Was that?
I'm gonna ask Danielle the same question later.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think she had fun being around.
Yeah.
These are great questions, though. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Evil Hope was fun. That's what I mean, being the villain is fun. No one likes you, but it's fun.
My question is, how do you think Lucien would have felt about how Marcel used the power of the Bible?
I think, I don't know, because I think Marcel used it pretty well. Like, I don't think he would have changed a thing. He's like, yeah, you go, boy. Like, also it's that thing of like, kind of bringing the originals down a peg. So I think he would have been very approving of. I did want to be in another couple of episodes. I would have rather like maybe died at the end of the season, then Marcel could take over in the next one. But apart from the experience of it, like yeah, I feel like him coming into his own and his power was something that Lucia would be utterly approving of. But yeah, I felt like also getting to watch Charles do that was fantastic. Seeing him get to step out of that shadow and everything. Thank you for that question. It was great.
Real quick before you step up, how are we on time? Who do we? 2 more questions? Okay, brilliant.
Ghostbusters.
3 more, come on. We'll be quick, we'll answer
We'll be
more
fast.
quickly. We'll answer more quickly.
Will we? Will we?
Speed round.
You guys will. I'll take my time, but you guys will.
History says it.
My question is for Rebecca, and I was wondering why do you believe a relationship between your character and Klaus could not work out, or do you believe the writers could have gone in that direction?
No, I think they could have totally worked out, but they both needed to have done a lot of therapy. And I don't think we had enough airtime to do the amount of therapy that they both needed. But I think they had a soul connection. I think they were each other's first loves. And I am a hopeless romantic, and so I believe that could have totally worked. But I also think their strength, they kind of could match each other's strength. And I think they needed that. They needed challenge. I think to stay in a relationship, you need to be challenged intellectually. I think they could keep up with each other. So, I think they broke each other, but they also could have healed each other if they had the time.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, great question.
Shaking his head over here. She's in love with Tristan.
Hi. I was wondering for anybody who wants to answer, how do you choose your roles? Do you like to stay in the fantasy genre? Do your roles just choose you?
You get cast and you say yes.
We're offered a job.
Like once you get to a certain level in the industry, like people can pick and choose. But like when you're a star and literally scripts come to your door and you're like, that one. Like, but most of the time, all of it, so we're going in and it's what I kind of like to think of it as sort of like a fatalistic sort of way. Like what is meant for, what is meant for you won't go by you. So I feel like the roles that we're meant to come, and whether it's for that character or it's for the experience that comes with that job, I feel like the ones that are meant to come to us, and those that don't, like pass by. Like, because you can, like the number of times you're number 2 for something or whatever, and you can reminisce about like, oh, it's like just like how different life would be, but it's not meant to be. That's not meant to be your life.
You're also more excited for the stuff that you're obsessed with. Like I'm obsessed with sort of noir stuff. So when this came along, it's sort of like quite a dark sort of, has a sort of noirish feel to it as well. So it's also just stuff that you connect to. I remember, you remember that show Spartacus? I remember like being offered a little role in that and turning it down just because it didn't feel right. Didn't sort of connect with it at the time. But yeah, the older you get, you realise that you should just take every job that comes along.
Yeah, but it is that thing. Like, yeah, basically the roles kind of pick you more. Until you are an A-lister, the roles pick you more than you pick them. But I think it is, as you said, it's that thing that there's something in you that responded to it, which is why you booked the job. So, like, there's something in you that calls. And I do.
What does that mean about me and Aurora? What is that saying?
You're
Very
a empathetic person. And so you actually got to more, instead of just like, I'm playing a psycho vampire, you actually went like, I'm playing a traumatized.
You playing a humanity.
Yeah, totally.
It's good save, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I don't even remember them.
Or you're nuts.
You're nuts.
Or I'm a bit nuts. Yeah, don't cross me. Right.
I will be crossing you later on purpose.
Watch this back.
So I have a question for Andy. Coming into this type of franchise, how did you mentally prepare by killing off one of our fan favorites, Cammy?
Yeah, well, like that when because Lee was actually the one that to tell me, because also we as guest stars, you're signing a contract each week, and you're the last to get the script because you have to sign a new contract every week, and so it was actually Leah that told me, and she was like, and so she told me that she's like, you're killing me next episode. I'm like, what? No. Because I love working with her, and she's like, well, I'm glad it's you. I'm like, okay. Well, she's like, well, at least have a really fun day, and like, yeah, I had to prepare myself a little bit because of knowing that I was going to get some hate when it aired, but the actual experience, like knowing that she was okay with it and all that and we love working together, so it was just a fun day to play on the actual day. And then like I'm like, all right, that's a problem for tomorrow, Andy. But even then, like you can't really worry about it because you're just serving the character and serving the script to the best of your ability and everything. So, and it needed to happen to catalyze other story elements happening. Like she needed to die in order to fuel Klaus, and like so it's you understand how story works as well. So yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, because I loved her character as well. But yeah, that's basically the answer. Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Thank you guys for your questions.
Thank you all.
And
Thanks, guys.
thank you to you guys for chatting with us and joining us.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for
Love it.
listening.
Love it.
See you guys in a little bit. Have a great day, guys.
See ya.